Can you turn the heat down lower? It's already pretty low. I'm not sure.
No.
On those Kanadlach over there. Well, let's share the video. Twitter.
I'm not gonna watch this stupid video.
Bum ba da 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 dum ba da 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 dum. Ya da 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 da. Ay da 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 dum. Ay da 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 ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 dum. Ay day day ay day day ay da day day ay da day day ay day da da day da da dum. Ay day day ay day day ay day day ay day ya da dum ba da dum ba dum. Ya da 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 dum. Yo da 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 hum. Yo da 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 dum. Ay da 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 dum. Oh, ya da 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 dum. Ya da da dum. Yada da 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 dum. Yada da 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 dum. Yada da 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 da. Oi da 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 da. Yada da 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 dum. Oi. Yada da 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 dum. Ay day day ya da day da da dum. Ya da day da da day ay day da dum. Ay da 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 day da 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 dum. Ay ay da day 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 ay da day da da dum. Yum bum bum ba da day dum. Ya da dum ba da 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 day. Ya da day da da day. Ay day 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 dum. Ay da 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 day day da 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 day day day. Ay day day ay day day dum ba da da dum. So today's Pesach Sheni. So the original source of Pesach Sheni is in the book of Numbers, chapter 9. It's worthwhile. We could read what it says. But the Beradinoil Moshe b'Midbar Sinai b'Shana HaSheni. So let's say something here. It's Mitzrayim b'Chodesh Rishon Lemar. And the Lord spoke unto Moses. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 9. The Lord spoke unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the second year after they left from the land of Egypt, in the first month, saying, V'asu v'nei Yisrael es haPasach b'moyadoi, and the children of Israel shall make the Passover in its appointed time. Arba'asa yom l'chodesh hazeh v'ein arba'im t'asi oisai b'moyadoi kechol chikoisav kechol mishpotav t'asi oisai. And then it says on the 14th day of this month, in the evening, you should perform it in its appointed season according to all of its statutes and according to all of its laws. You should perform it. Verse 4, and Moses said unto the children of Israel to make the Passover. Verse 5, and it says, and they made the Passover in the first month, on the 14th day of that month, in the afternoon, in the wilderness of Sinai, according to everything that the Lord commanded to Moses. Thus did the children of Israel perform. And now here's where it gets to the second Passover. Vayehi anashim asher hayu tameim lenefesh adam lo yachlu la'aseh haPesach b'yemahu v'yikarvu lifnei Moshe lifnei Aaron b'yemahu. So it says, and there were men who were impure from a soul, meaning they were impure because of contact with a dead body. For a human soul, meaning because of their contact with the dead, they were impure, and so therefore they were not able to perform the Passover on that day. And it says they came before Moses and before Aaron on that day. And here is the powerful term there, and it says, and those people said, we are impure because of contact with a human dead body. Why should we be left out? Why should we be considered lower than other people, that we should be prevented from offering the sacrifice of the Lord in this appointed season amidst the children of Israel? And so Moses said to them, and so in verse 8 it says, and Moses said unto them, stand by and listen what the Lord will command for you. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Daber el bnei Israel lemor ish ki yatami lenefesh b'derech l'chayka lochem v'loderisechem v'aseh Pesach l'Adonai. It says, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, saying, a man, meaning any man. That's the idiom here, that if he is impure from contact with the dead, or if he's far away among you, or in your future generations, and the Passover is made unto the Lord, and that's why we're explaining that even if Mashiach would have come yesterday, we wouldn't make Korban Pesach today, Pesach Sheni, because it's already a day that's we didn't make a Pesach Rishon. So then it says, B'chodesh HaSheni b'arba'asa yom bein harbayim ya'asu isai al matzos amorim yechluhu. It says in the second month, on the 14th day, in the afternoon, you should perform it on matzos. We have unleavened bread and bitter herbs. You should eat the Paschal sacrifice. And you should not leave anything over it until the morning, and don't break any bones on it. According to all the statutes of the Passover, you should perform this second Paschal sacrifice. And if a person is pure, or he's not far away, and he fails to perform the Passover, and it's the first time in the first month, I thought we're having fleishiks. Why are you even making milchiks? Yeah, it's Yom Tov. So that I know Shlomi, that's different. So that soul will be cut off from its people because he failed to offer the sacrifice in his appointed time, and he shall bear his sin, that person. And then in verse 14, it says that if there should dwell among you a sojourner, a convert, and perform the Passover, we follow all of the laws of the Passover according to all of the laws. That's what we do. It's the same law will be for you, and both for the convert and for the born citizen of the land. So that is the biblical initial source of Pesach Sheni. Although we've we discussed there's other sources as well.
A car.
Then beyond that, so we have, what else do we have here? Let's look at the Mishnah. The Mishnah, let me find the Mishnah in Pesachim, that this with the few Mishnayos that talk about Korban Pesach, about Pesach Sheni. So this is Mishnah in Pesachim. Chapter 8, I believe.
No, come here.
Chapter 9. Okay, so chapter 9, the Mishnah in Pesachim. Let's learn Mishnayos. It's always good to learn Mishnayos. If someone was impure, or he was far away and he did not perform the first Passover, he should perform the second Passover. Or if by accident, or he was forced for some other reason and didn't perform the first Paschal sacrifice, he should perform the second Paschal sacrifice on the second month, which we're observing now. So then the Mishnah continues. Why does the scripture specify a person who is impure or who is far away on a journey, that he's the one who should make the second Passover, and it doesn't mention someone who had some other reason not to make the second Passover? And then, so it says, and the answer is that those who are far away or impure are do not receive what's called kares, which is a punishment, a spiritual punishment of having your soul cut off from the community, as we mentioned. And those who have who are not far away are chayav kares. So then the next Mishnah asks, Eizoihi derech hachoika. How far away, meaning we're assuming that this Passover is offered in Jerusalem. So how far away is considered far away? So it says, Rebbe Kiva says there's a suburb of Jerusalem called Modi'in, or Modi'in. Is famous that's where the Hi Yoshua. It's that's where the Maccabees lived in Modi'in. So that distance, which is a few miles outside of Jerusalem, anything that distance in the circumference around Jerusalem, anything farther than that would be called far away, and therefore, which is not that far, and that's Rabbi Akiva's opinion. However, Eliezer but Rabbi Eliezer says actually, from the threshold of the courtyard of the temple, I mean, you could be in Jerusalem. It's also called derech hachoika. And Rabbi Yossi says that in the word rechoika, on the letter hey, there's a little dot on top in the Sefer Torah, and he says that that's the meaning of Rechoika doesn't mean really far away, even just outside the temple, outside the courtyard of the temple, somewhere downtown in Jerusalem, even in the old city. You could be in the walls of Jerusalem, and it's already called Derech HaChaika. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So then the next Mishnah asks, Ma ben Pesach Rishon L'Sheni. What's the difference between the first Passover and the second Passover? Rishon Asur B'Val Yirav Yimatzeh. On the first Pesach, it's totally forbidden to have any ownership of chametz. You can't see it, you can't find it. But Sheni matzah v'chametz ima b'bayis. On the second Passover, you have matzah and chametz in the house together, right? Even the person who's being makriv, that meaning not only when it comes to the Korban Pesach, there's two issues. There's the isser of every Jew on Pesach to have chametz, but there's an additional isser, there's an additional prohibition to be makriv the Korban Pesach ala chametz, meaning to say that if you have chametz in your house and you didn't nullify or sell your chametz or whatever it is, and you're makriv the Korban Pesach, you did an additional sin that you were makriv the Korban Pesach while owning chametz. But when it comes to Pesach Sheni, there's no isser. You could have matzah, you could have chametz, it's fine. Harisha and ton halal b'chilasei, Sheni and ton halal b'chilasei. The first Korban Pesach, like we do on the Seder Nacht, we say Hallel by the Haggadah. That's by the first Pesach. The second Pesach, when you're eating the Korban Pesach and Pesach Sheni, you don't say Hallel. However, when you're making the Korban, both the first and the second Pesach, you say Hallel. And both are the same, that it's roasted and it's eaten with matzah and bitter herbs, like the scripture tells us, and it overrides Shabbos. And that's pretty much those three Mishnayos talk about what the Korban Pesach, the difference between Pesach Rishon and Pesach Sheni. Now this second Mishnah, I think, is one that we should reflect on, maybe of a Hasidic Shaveg, in the ways of Hasidism. We see that Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Eliezer are arguing as to how far away one would be from the Beis Hamikdash to be considered to be derech rechoika, to be on a far away path. So Rabbi Akiva says, min hamoidi'im v'lachutz. Rabbi Akiva says, it's interesting, usually we call that place modi'in with a nun. Here it's modi'im with a mem. The difference is with a nun, it's along the lines of Aramaic, or it could be a feminine way of mentioning the word, the name of this town, of this village. And the other is now it's a city, Modi'in, Modi'in Elit, and all these places they have in the Holy Land now that have been built up. But Rabbi Akiva, at least in the version of the mission that we have, it says Modi'im. Modi'im means it's a lashon of das. It's a lashon of intelligence, of knowledge, of being informed. Let's eat a little bit of matzah so we can have a taste. This is the first matzah I'm eating this Pesach Sheni. I have this matzah here. I don't want to break it until my family's ready to wash. This actually is from the Chabura of the Satmar Rebbe in Monroe that he baked after Purim. It's the Acher Purim matzahs from the Satmar Rebbe, from Rabbi Teitelbaum's matzahs. And this one, actually from the other Satmar. So we have Shalom on the table. Anyway, this word Modi'im, It says, Min hamodim v'lachutz v'kemidasa l'chol ruach. Obviously, the pshat, the simple meaning of that word, is that from this village, this town called Modi'im, as we mentioned, anything outside of that circumference around Jerusalem, however far the distance from Jerusalem to Modi'im, a few miles, that distance, the circumference around Jerusalem, anything outside of that is called derech rechaika, as far as when it comes to Pesach. But if we translate these words literally, it says from those who are giving information, those who are giving knowledge, and outside, and according to its attributes, according to its character traits, the midos, it doesn't just mean measurements, but the measure of a human being, the character traits, l'chol ruach. We translate l'chol ruach to mean in any direction, but we know the word ruach means spirit, and so therefore, if someone is outside of the world of knowledge, hold on a second. I just want to make sure this thing isn't burning. That's a different thing. I'm making knedlach. Outside, the way that's called derech rechaika, a faraway path, is from those who are inside the world of knowledge, and outside of anyone who's outside of the world of information and knowledge. And we know das, knowledge, means an intimate relationship. Meaning if someone doesn't have a relationship with God, he's outside of that world. In any spirit outside of the relationship with God, that is what's called derech rechaika. That's what Rabbi Akiva teaches. Meaning that in order to be makriv the Korban Pesach, the Pesach Rishon, you have to have an intimate relationship with God. And if you are outside of that world, you're potter, you're considered to be exempt from Kores, from Korban Pesach Rishon, because you lack that relationship. You lack that intimacy with God. Whatever spirit you're following, you're not there. You're far away. The Rebbe Eliezer says even deeper. If you're not in the Beis HaMikdash, you're far away already. But the thing is however far away you are, could be on the moon, you get a second chance. You have Pesach Sheni that you can come back to Yerushalayim. You missed the first Pesach. You weren't in that relationship with God that you're supposed to be. You were following some other spirit, some other zeitgeist, right? And you are some other ideology, and you don't have this intense das with the Rebbeinu Shalom. You are still able to make that pilgrimage and to come back on Pesach Sheni and to have a second chance, no matter how far away you are. And Rabbi Yossi says that's why there's a nekuda, that's why there's a dot on the letter Hey of Rechaika. Because it doesn't just have to be Rechaika, like actually far away, but actually, even if you're outside of the Beis HaMikdash, you're already called Rechaika. Now, the truth is, when we're talking about being far away from the Beis HaMikdash, when we think about Rachaik, Al Gabi the Beis Hamikdash, we think of the Akedas Yitzchak. When it says Vayar as a Mokem Merochik, that Avram Avinu saw as he was approaching to do the Akedas Yitzchak, he saw the place from far away. And the Hamokem we know means Mekoyim Shaloylam means the Rebbeinu Shaloylam, means God, the omnipresent one. Meaning to say, this is V'yar as a Mokem Merochik, and they saw God far away. That Avram Avinu had such an experience that he was God's best friend. Avram Avinu, Abraham, our patriarch, and yet he saw Hashem far away. He was seeing us now on Pesach Sheni. That we want to be close. We want to be in the Beis Hamikdash. We want to be mifnim from Modiyim. We want to be inside this level of das and understanding and knowledge. We want to know God. Das Elokei Avicha v'Avdehu, know the God of your father and serve Him. That's what we want. But we're b'derech choika v'loy rochik v'adai v'lefilu miskupas hazar v'lachutz. We might be standing right at the door of the Beis Hamikdash, but we're just that far away that we're b'derech choika. But we ask the B'nai Shalom, take us in, bring us inside, that we should bring the Korban Pesach. What does the Korban mean? Korban is the word of Korav, like people know the word Kirav, to be close. Hashem should be Makarav us. Not V'yar Samokim Erochik, not that we saw the place from far away, but we see it close, and B'nai Shalom should be Makarav us, al derech the Korban Pesach, v'sham nachlu min azvachim n'psochim, Taka, we should be zoicher to cry out Lama Negara. Why are we left out? Why should we not be able? Because we're b'derech l'choika, because we're tamei l'nefesh adam. It's an interesting thing. The opinion is that they were carrying Atzmas Yosef. Satmarov talks about this. If the kivrei tzaddikim ain't matamim, why are they tamei from Atzmas Yosef? Well, part of it is that the kivrei tzaddikim, it's not tumas oil maybe, but it's still tumas mace. But no, we say Yankov Avinu loy mace. And the idea is really the depth of it. Of we don't understand what does it mean rachik and what does it mean korav. We don't know what means far away, what is close. Because the Beis Hamikdash, we might be standing right at the door of the Beis Hamikdash and we're far away. And we might be really far away somewhere in New York, somewhere in Chvez, Arkansas. I was in Arkansas a few weeks ago, Pennsylvania somewhere, in Idaho. My wife was just in Idaho, in her old home. We might be very far away, but we're really close. We're mina moediyim v'bifnim. We might be outside the Azar and inside the Moediyim because we're inside the Das. We're connected to the B'nai Shalom. We understand that the Medrash says, that pasuk is the pasuk that is ma'or the Indian of Akedas Yitzchak. That we're connected back to that, and we're the B'nai Shalom is Mekarav us. Meaning to say, we don't know. Meaning the fact that the people are carrying Atzmas Yosef, Kibbutz Tzadikim and Mesim, Elomatame, that even though a kever of its the grave of a tzaddik does not impart impurity according to Kabbalah, it doesn't matter because we don't know who is a tzaddik and who's not a tzaddik. That just like we can't even alpi halacha because we can't paskin like Kabbalah to say that, meaning someone who's excuse me, someone who's carrying Atzmas Yosef, you could say it's Yosef at Tzaddik, that's his name. He's not Matame, so they shouldn't be Tame at all. And that's why they're saying Lama Negara. We're carrying a Tzaddik. we should be able to be makriv the korban Pesach Rishon. And the Baruch Shalom says, no, you makriv the korban Pesach Sheni because we don't know who's the tzaddik. And so you can't paskin who's the tzaddik and who's the rasha. But what that means is mitoich lava teshemei hein, meaning the Yosef a tzaddik that we know is a tzaddik. We still say we don't know who's a tzaddik and who's not a tzaddik. So then for Kert also, the one you think is a rasha, he might be the tzaddik. You don't know who is minamodim lechutz, who is outside of that relationship and who's inside. Who is me'eskupas azara v'lachutz? Who is right at the door of the temple or right outside? We don't know. Only God knows. And that's the message of Pesach Sheni. That we can take this day that they're saying Lama Negora. Why are they saying Lama Negora? Why are we left out? We're carrying a tzaddik, kibbutz tzaddikim and matamim. No. Because the kibbutz tzaddikim and matamim, we don't know. You might say Lama Negora. I could be makriv Pesach Rishon. I'm not tamei. But the whole reason to learn that is mitoich lava teshemei hein. That because we know Yosef the tzaddik is the tzaddik. That nobody's questioning the tzidkus of Yosef the tzaddik. The point is that the Yosef, it's that we don't know the person you think is a rasha could very well be a tzaddik, because the Bnei Shalom is everywhere, and so that's pshat. Min ha'madim v'lachutz, min ha'madim v'lefnim, min ha'skupas hazora v'lachutz. You don't know. V'yaris ha'makom merachik. The Bnei Shalom was right there. It was with Avram Avinu. Avram Avinu was the place of Hashras Shechina. He was the Beis Hamikdash, and yet he felt v'yaras ha'makom merachik, and so the Bnei Shalom should help us to understand that of Lama Negora. That means mitoich lava teshemei hein, amech kulam tzadikim. That the Indian of the whole Klal Yisrael tzaddikim, that's the Indian of Pesach Sheni. That we're given a second chance. Like I work in the prison. It's all about giving second chances. That's what it's all about. Helping someone who might think that they're minamodim v'lachutz. They might think they're outside of das. That they're b'derech choika. That they're already chayav kares because they're so far away they don't even have a shaykhis. L'chol ruach, they're following all kinds of spirits, all kinds of ideologies. But the truth is, the Bnei Shalom is the only one who knows. We don't know. Sure, within our rubric of our world, we have to treat things the way they are. We have to follow the halacha, 100%, no question in that. And that's also the message, because of being an Erel Chayid. Because sof kol sof, all right, the Sifrei Kabbalah say that kibbutz tzaddikim and matamim, but we have to fear zich al pi halacha. There might se ken sein zu do hechere Sachen, aber me feart sich nicht so. Me feart sich al pi halacha, al pi Torah, al pi amina. This is what it means to be Yid. Yes, v'amich kulam tzaddikim. On one side, we have to be done with kafschis. We have to look things in the positive way, judge everyone favorably. Aber mit fear sich al pi halacha. And by finding the balance between these two dichotomies, the chol riach, in any direction, in any ideology, in any spirit, in any wind, that we have to make tikkun amidas, chol riach. In any direction we ever go, everything you're going outside of Yerushalayim. Min ha'madiyim l'chitz kun midas l'chol riach, and as a derech rechoika. Still, you have the Indian of Tikkun Amidas. Still, you have the Indian of Das, because it's min hamadin lachitz. So we have to be and Gedyanter Reb Shimi. We have to halt sich stark in this way, and remember what it means So mit dafür sich ehrlich, and in this chus, the Baruch Shalom should help us that next year Taka we should be noichel and Pesachim and Zvachim and Zvachim and Pesachim, whichever order it is, with the binyan Beis Hamikdash and Skalas Kvod Shemayim, B'mheir V'yameinu Omein. Let's sing a few songs, L'Kovet Pesach, and then we'll sing Chasal Seder Pesach will be the last one. But I want to first sing one of my favorite Pesach songs. Let's find. Do we have the words here? So it's the words here. Where's the words here? Hold on. No, it's not clear enough to read. Saint is nicht. Let's find it. Hold on. Here we go. So if anybody has any questions or anything, we can. Ey allmächtiger Gott, nen boin dan Tempel Shira, also Shiren, also bald in unseren Tagen Shira, unseren Tag, it's German, in unseren Tagen Shira, ja Shiren and boin dan Tempel Shira. Barmherziger Gott, nen boin dan Tempel Shira, also Shiren, also bald in unseren Tagen Shira, ja Shiren und boin, nun boin dein Tempel Shira, größer Gott, der mutiger Gott, nun boin dein Tempel Shira, also Shiren, also bald in unseren Tagen Shira, ja, Shiren und boin, nun boin dein Tempel Shira, heuche Gott, werdige Gott, süßer Gott, kennige Gott, nun boin dein Tempel Shira, also Shiren, also bald in unseren Tagen Shira, ja, Shiren und boin, nun bei dein Tempel Shira, teuglicher Gott, jüdischer Gott, nun bei dein Tempel Shira, also Shiren, also bald in unseren Tagen Shira, ja Shiren und bei, nun bei dein Tempel Shira, kräftiger Gott, lebendiger Gott, mächtiger Gott, namhaftiger Gott, sänftiger Gott, ewiger Gott, nun boin dein Tempel Shira, also Shiren, also bald in unseren Tagen Shira, ja Shiren und boin, nun boin dein Tempel Shira, Fachzumer Gott, ziemlicher Gott, keinlicher Gott, reicher Gott, nun boin dein Tempel Shira, also Shiren, also bald in unseren Tagen Shira, ja Shiren und boin, nun boin dein Tempel Shira, scheiner Gott, treußer Gott, nun boin dein Tempel Shira, also Shiren, also bald in unseren Tagen Shira, ja Shiren und boin, nun boin dein Tempel Shira. Oi, du bist Gott und keiner mehr, nun boin dein Tempel Shira. Also Shiren, also bald in unseren Tagen Shira. Ja, Shiren und boin, nun boin dein Tempel Shira. I vehishe yom da lavi saini veloni. Vehishe yom da lavi saini veloni. Shelo echad bilvad u'madulayni. Shelo echad bilvad u'madulayni. Shelo echad bilvad. Shelo echad bilvad u'madulayni l'chalosaini. Ella shebchol davador. Ella shebchol davador. Oim demolayni l'chalosaini. Ayve hakudash borechi. Matzilayni miyudam. Ve'akudash borechi. Matzilayni miyudam. So Shayna Zach, we could say about Pesach Sheni. In Pesach we don't say Mizmor L'Soida. Pesach Sheni, it's Chormetz and Matzim of Babayis, Mezukta Mizmor L'Soida. Real Hashem L'Cholor. If there's Hashem B'Simcha, it's a Gavaldige Simcha of Pesach Sheni. As much as I talked yesterday about how it's not really that important, but the truth is, it's a day of Simcha and of Thanksgiving. So Grois Tov, it's a day of Hakor Satoyev. The will help, and we should talk about Zoicha to experience this. What it means for Yil Hashem Kalor. It's Yivdi Es Hashem B'Simcha. Yivdi Es Hashem B'Simcha. Boy Lifonav Lifona Bernona. Boy Lifonav Bernona. Boy Lifonav Lifona Bernona. Boy Lifonav Bernona. All right, we'll finish now. I'll have a scene with my family, but we'll finish with the song that's Chesal Seder Pesach Kel Chusai Kechol Mishportai V'chikusai Kasher Zechini L'Sader Roisai Kainis Kelasoisai Zach Sheichen Bainam Kala das mi mana bekura if Nahel nitechana bekura if Nahel nitechana pediem letzion berina Chasal Seder Pesach kel chusai kechol mishputai v'chikusai kasher zechini l'sader oisai Kindness kelasoi soy zach shechen moin of kamem kahala das min mana bekura if Nahel nitechana bekura if Nahel nitechana pediem letzion berina Chasal Seder Pesach kel chusai kechol mishputai v'chikusai kasher zechini l'sader oisai Kainis kelasoi Zach sheichin moina kenem kahala das mi mana b'korov Nahel nitechana. She never cries. B'korov Nahel nitechana pediyim letzion berina L'shana haba b'Yerushalayim L'shana haba b'Yerushalayim Shana haba b'Yerushalayim L'shana haba Yerushalayim, Lishona haba b'Yerushalayim, Lishona haba b'Yerushalayim, Lishona haba b'Yerushalayim. Ayaya da. Yeshia is Hashem keheref ayin, Shona haba b'Yerushalayim. Yeshia is Hashem keheref ayin l'shona haba b'Yerushalayim shoich libcha l'shomayim l'shona haba b'Yerushalayim Yeshia is Hashem keheref ayin l'shona haba b'Yerushalayim. All right. Thank you for joining us. I'm still helping, like we said, we could all bring a nice carbon toida for all the good things the Baruch Shalom did for us. Whatever complaints we have, the Baruch Shalom did a lot more good. So we should talk as Eichazain. Oh, it's supposed to be a Kolpik. It's a brown. I don't know. I got it on eBay. I wear a stripe on Shabbos, but it's not Shabbos, not Yontiv. So I saw this on eBay. I was like, oh, I'll chop it up, Beckish is new. I got the Beckish for Pesach, but the spot the Kolpik and Alten. Darf man behalten, Leiges und Beidem, ay, 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 ay. Sei so guide der ehrliche Yid. I don't remember the words of the song from the Sons of Roof, no, when he cuts the this no, it's a Kolpik, it's brown. It's not a Spudik. You don't really see. I don't remember. It was like $100. It's very brown over here. They have Streimlach on eBay too. I think right now the cheapest Streimel on eBay is maybe I don't know $300-400. But this was a one-time thing that I saw. I mean I saw it more than once, but I hopped it. When I saw what I wanted. So thank you for joining us. I want to spend time with my family now. Tzadik Avrumi with Moshe Aryeh is making payas. His birthday today. He's 3 years old. We're going to go to Monroe, Mirz Hashem, for Chalaka Thursday night, Lag Boimer. Monroe is always Maroon, even though it's not Monroe anymore. Now it's the palm tree. But we'll go to the Rebbe in Monroe. Machen payas. So I'm still helping. Taka, thank you for joining us. It was nice to have such a nice crowd. At our little Tish this year, and like, share, and subscribe, comment, and watch some of our other videos, and very happy Pesach Sheni, and the whole week of Hod should taka be a week of Hod v'Hodar. God bless you. Thank you.